This story begins where the others usually end. After the age of 60, everything that had to be said has been said, and the forces begin to abandon him. In the evening, he is sleepy and falls asleep inexorably in front of the TV. And when he slips into his bed, the dream he had started on the sofa continues. At 60, you begin to think about retirement, or rather what you'll be able to do if you ever get there alive, given that this objective continues to move further and further. I think I'll die on my desk, clutching the mouse in my right hand, and that the last of my thoughts will be, what the fuck am I still doing in this fucking office instead of being in the park with my grandchildren? But grandchildren are now a rare thing for the lucky few. Sons no longer marry, and much less produce more heirs, or if they do, they give birth to babies hundreds of miles away from where you live. And in any case, they give a shit about your problems, your old age, and your loneliness. The point, apart from the emotional emptiness in which I fell and the terror of dying alone in a dingy hospital bed without being able to say the last things to those I loved, is that it is difficult for me to think of living without a perspective. A fucking hope for a better tomorrow? No, that's not the point. Handsome? No. Maybe the right word is interesting. I hate boredom. And for me, boredom is when I don't have something to feed my brain to make it work happily at anything. I don't give a damn about traveling the world, going to museums, restaurants, or whores. What I love is mentally masturbating. Give me a fucking problem, and you'll have made me happy. The fact is that life, on the other hand, always gives you boring, if not painful, problems. And in any case, it's always a pain in the ass, not funny at all. How to repair the vacuum cleaner cable or the toilet seat. Never that they suddenly call you and say, listen, mister, the world is in danger, we need help, and only you can find a brilliant solution to the problem. Things turn out like this. Normally, it's just about shoveling shit. And then one, in order to survive, the problems, the fun, exciting ones, learn to create them by oneself. Over the past 30 or 40 years, I've invented and created everything from new book formats to super efficient bicycles, to all-in-one furniture, to new socioeconomic systems. But I've also written dozens of books and dozens of pieces of music. I imagine still unexpressed forms of art. None of these things have seen the light of day, or if they did, it happened at the hands of others. Other things, the less imaginative and exciting, I did. Some have succeeded, others have failed miserably. But in any case, all these mental masturbations have allowed me to live well to this day. Even the God I've always prayed to, and whom I still pray, even if no longer with the fervor and conviction of the past, seems to have drifted away. Right now, when I have more urgency. The delusions of life, not the failures, but the gaps caused by the disappearance or distance of the closest loved ones have undermined many of my certainties, to the point of making me privilege having and enjoying instead of being. I want to have everything here and now, and don't patiently cultivate for tomorrow. Which tomorrow? If the outlook is narrowed, why should I cultivate anything? To leave it to whom? Better to consume and spend what you've earned and enjoy it while you have the strength. My father will certainly be turning in his grave, he who had made a lifestyle of thrift. A good man indeed, a great man, but he was wrong about this. Yeah, the forces. But now, I no longer have the strength. Apart from the perspective that is shortened badly, it's the forces that have run out. Someone will say that there are people much older than me who, on the other hand, he is still full of energy, like Mick Jagger, who still hops on stage at over 70 years old. Apart from the fact that, in my opinion, he's a bit stoned when he's on stage, and probably also when he's on the street, he still has the perspective. Being the leader of the most famous rock and roll band in the world gives a lot of perspective, even if you've been singing the same songs for 50 years. Fuck. But I don't find that fucking perspective anymore. Or at least I couldn't find it until a few moments ago. Then my wife hugged me, and I found, indeed found again, the perspective.